Leonardo DiCaprio. When mentioning the name Leonardo DiCaprio, most of us immediately think of the image of Jack Dawson, standing proudly on the bow of the Titanic, spreading his arms in the air and shouting, "I'm the king of the world." One of the most legendary moments in the history of cinema, and also the moment that turned Leonardo into a global phenomenon. But if you think Leonardo is just a handsome face, a star who got lucky thanks to a blockbuster movie, then perhaps you have never really known him. Today, you will meet a very different Leonardo. A Leonardo who almost died 3 times, was rejected by Hollywood because he was too strange. A Leonardo who dared to refuse roles worth hundreds of millions of dollars to live true to himself. A Leonardo who fights tirelessly for the environment, works quietly, contributes, and is completely opposite to the lavish image that the public still thinks. This is the dark side, the depth, the incredible journey of one of Hollywood's greatest stars. And maybe after this video, you will never look at Leonardo DiCaprio the same way again. The roots of an icon. Leonardo was not born into the limelight. He did not grow up in a mansion in Beverly Hills, did not have a famous director father, nor did he have relatives in the entertainment industry. He was born in 1974 in Los Angeles, but not the Los Angeles of cinema and fame. He grew up in East Hollywood, a neighborhood rife with crime, drugs, and violence, where every step on the street was a risk. His parents divorced when he was just 1 year old. His German-born mother, Ermeline Indenbergen, became the sole breadwinner, working as a secretary and taking her son to auditions, hoping to change their lives. They lived in a cramped apartment, sometimes sleeping with friends, and even thought about leaving the United States to return to Germany because life was too harsh. Yet amid all that hardship, there was always a small but persistent ray of light, his mother's belief in a different future for her son. And do you know what the strangest thing is? The name Leonardo did not come from a random list of names. It started with a kick in her womb. While Ermeline was standing in front of a Leonardo da Vinci painting in a museum in Florence, Italy, her unborn child suddenly kicked. For her, it was more than just a normal movement. It was a sign, a mysterious connection to art. And so the name Leonardo was born, like a prophecy of fate, tying him to creativity, painting, and beauty before he ever cried his first cry. Later, despite becoming a world superstar, Leonardo did not forget his roots. He once shared that growing up among prostitutes, drug addicts, and dark neighborhoods made him appreciate every opportunity that life gave him. It is also the reason he chooses thorny, complex roles instead of being confined to the image of a Hollywood handsome man. A rough beginning, Leonardo DiCaprio's childhood was not filled with cartoon mornings or laughter in the shade of a playground. Instead, there were sirens in the middle of the night. There were sudden gunshots echoing down the street. There were drug addicts, fights, and drug dealers right outside his bedroom window, and neighborhood kids suddenly disappearing without reason, as if they had never existed. It was not an environment for a dreamy child, but Leonardo was different. He did not let the darkness define him. From a very young age, Leo was fascinated by the art of storytelling. He loved pretending to be someone else, creating emotion with his eyes, gestures, and voice. Acting, for him, was not a game. It was a lifeline. Young Leo soon began a grueling journey through auditions, gum commercials, science educational films, TV sitcoms, anything that would get him closer to the spotlight. Each small role was a step forward, but also a huge wall to overcome. Hollywood in the 80s and early 90s did not easily open its doors to a boy with an angular face, sharp eyes, and a name, Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio, that was too long too strange to Americans. Many producers criticized him as too smart, difficult to control, not suitable for taste. Some even bluntly advised him to change his name to Lenny Williams, a name that sounded more pleasant, more marketable, sure to get more work. But Leonardo refused. He did not want to be someone else to be accepted. He did not need a fake name to enter Hollywood. No matter how long he waited, no matter how many times he was rejected, Leonardo believed that if he was to succeed, it would be with the name his mother had given him, the name chosen by fate. And it was that determination that paved the way for a journey unlike any other. Unexpected fame. And the price Leonardo DiCaprio's big break came in 1993 when he played Arnie Grape, a mentally disabled boy in the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape. It was a role that not many people would dare to take on. But Leonardo, then 19 years old, not only dared, but also shocked Hollywood. Critics were stunned. Audiences were stunned. No one believed this was an acting performance because Leonardo's transformation was so real, so emotional. Many people actually believed he was a real sick boy, not an actor. And it was that role, not because of fame, not because of appearance, that brought him his first Oscar nomination. Leonardo's talent was recognized, not as a teen idol, but as a real artist. Then he continued to prove it in Romeo plus Juliet, a modern love song full of tragedy, rebellion, and daring. And then, Titanic, the movie that changed the history of cinema, changed Leonardo's life. Jack Dawson, a carefree young man, full of emotions and passionate love, became the symbol of an entire generation. Leonardo, in that moment, suddenly became a global phenomenon. He was no longer just an actor, but the muse of millions of young women, a love symbol, a new sex symbol of Hollywood in the late 90s. His name was all over the newspapers. His image was printed on t-shirts, water cups, posters, and dreams. The whole world went crazy for Leonardo. But what few people know is, right after Titanic, Leonardo almost gave up acting. While surrounded by fame, Leonardo felt suffocated and lost. He could not find himself in the whirlwind of the audience's craze. He once shared frankly, "I don't want to spend my whole life being remembered as a handsome guy standing on a sinking ship." He was afraid of being boxed into an image that he no longer controlled, afraid of becoming a commercial product, a face to sell tickets, not an artist who brings emotions and reflections. And so, when the lights were at their brightest, when the whole world was looking at him, Leonardo turned his back and withdrew, not to enjoy money or party, but to find his true self, to find his art again. It was a courageous decision, and also a risky one, but it was that choice that made Leonardo DiCaprio completely different from the rest of Hollywood. From a star, he became an uncompromising artist, living for what he believed in. Reborn with Martin Scorsese and real near-death encounters. After retreating to find himself, Leonardo returned with a bold choice: to collaborate with legendary director Martin Scorsese, a duo of artists who have created timeless cinematic works. From Gangs of New York, The Aviator, The Departed to Shutter Island, Leonardo is no longer the muse of Titanic. He transforms into characters full of trauma, complex psychology, even madness. He lives in his roles without embellishment, without beautification, only pain and truth. With The Revenant, Leonardo surpasses all the usual limits of an actor. He eats raw liver, sleeps in animal carcasses, wades through snow in the frozen wilderness. Not acting, but living for real. And it was that film that brought him his first Oscar. Not as a reward, but as recognition for all the sacrifices and dedication. But strangely, what Leonardo experienced on film was nothing compared to real life. He almost died when a great white shark broke out of its cage and almost attacked him while scuba diving. Almost died when the plane's engine caught fire in midair. And almost died when he parachuted. Both parachutes did not open until the last second. Not a PR stunt, not a movie script, just the truth. And a feeling as if fate had not yet allowed Leonardo to stop. Say no to superhero. Say yes to the truth. Leonardo was once invited to play Spider-Man, an official invitation from director Sam Raimi. He even almost became Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars, along with a series of opportunities to participate in other blockbusters, which could have turned him into the box office king forever. But Leonardo refused, because he has a principle. If the role has no cracks, no injuries, no real person, then he doesn't need it. He doesn't want to be a superhero. He wants to play characters who are knocked down, hurt, crushed, but still stand up and fight. For him, cinema is not a stage for show. It is a place to tell the truth, no matter how cruel and painful that truth is. Love, memes, and a green heart. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the most private stars in Hollywood. No social media, no personal stories, no self-promotion, but his love life is inevitably scrutinized. His girlfriends are all models, all under 25, and they break up very on schedule. That makes Leo an international meme, a dating chart by age, an internet legend. And him, no response, no explanation. Just smile and continue living as if nothing happened. Because perhaps the thing Leonardo is truly attached to and loves the most is not a woman, but the earth. The Green Heart of Hollywood in 1998, Leonardo founded the DiCaprio Environmental Foundation. When the world was not yet concerned about climate, the Amazon, or melting ice, he was a pioneer, and he has never stopped. He has raised more than $100 million to save forests, save oceans, protect wildlife, support renewable energy technology, and call for action for the planet. In 2016, when he finally received his Oscar, Leonardo did not thank anyone personally. He said, "Climate change is the most urgent threat to humanity. We need to act and not take this earth for granted." A moment that made the whole world silent, not just because of the Oscar, but because of the message. A living icon, in his own way, who is Leonardo DiCaprio? An actor who lives in every frame, a person who refuses to play a superhero, to choose the role of the most miserable people, an artist who never forgets where he comes from and what he lives for. He is not perfect. He does not try to be perfect. He is just a person who does not stop and does not let anyone else write his own story. Video end. If you ever thought Leonardo DiCaprio was just a handsome guy from Titanic, hopefully after this video, you have seen another Leonardo, deeper, more real, and much more inspiring. And if you think these things are worth spreading, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.